We are almost underway for another great game of SCAC women's basketball here in CalGuard Gym as the Trinity Tigers starting off the year 2-0, winning their opener on the road against Southwestern and TLU. They go up against the Austin College Kangaroos, who split their conference opening weekend, a win against Centenary and a loss to St. Thomas. And the Tigers with a very nice record to start the year, 6-1, that only loss being to Hardin-Simmons in overtime. And this is a Trinity squad looking to continue to roll through the conference. I'm Reed Rosales, once again joined by Luke Terry. And Luke, what should we expect out of the Tigers tonight?
It's another team that wants to get out and run in transition. It's true for the men, it's true for the women. It's a common theme here in CalGuard Gym. A lot of pressing, a lot of defensive intensity, and it's a Tigers team that wants to turn turnovers into points quickly.
Jamie Reedy with a quick three gets pushed away by Grace Mudart. So Mudart and the Roos will have their first offensive possession, trying to swing it in, but the pass from Amaris Cuellar will not go through. After Cuellar's errant pass, Maggie Robbins will inbound it, looking for Josie Napoli. This is a Trinity team that is #1 in the nation in scoring offense, averaging about 86 points a game. Maggie Robbins quickly driving it in and draws the quick foul. So she will head to the charity stripe very early on here as the defense from #2, Amaris Cuellar, freshman from San Antonio, so back in her hometown, will get tagged with the foul.
It was a pretty good defensive effort from Cuellar, I thought. Referees maybe seeing a little bit too much contact between their bodies down low, but it looked like she got that shot blocked cleanly up top. Either way, good job from Robbins forcing the issue, missing the front end, but knocking the second home to get the Tigers on the board.
1-0 is the score, and that Trinity press already coming into effect. Elaine King, the last one to beat, and she will prevent the Roos from scoring. Natalie Anderson taking the pass from Maggie Robbins. Kicks it in to King, over to Anderson yet again. They like to run that play quite a bit, but the Roos will get away with the rebound. Still 1-0. Roos having to get past the Tigers' tough press defense. Now able to settle in just a bit more.
But even off of that miss, Trinity doing a nice job of providing some initial pressure, finding a way to get into that full court press in some capacity. It was a little bit disjointed, but it still did its job, and really unsettling this Roos offense. First couple of possessions down the court, turnovers for Austin College.
Jamie Reedy hands it over to Napoli, who sinks it from the top of the three-point arc. So 4-0 early on. Austin College looking for a response. Grace Mudart having to deal with Napoli, and now Cuellar dishing it in. Trying to get it in is Brooklyn Matthews, tallest player on the court right now. The 6'2" sophomore will get the first bucket for the Roos.
A really nice job remaining patient. Elaine King in defense right there was doing a good job of staying disciplined herself, but just barely left her feet. And it left the Roo in great position to get that one up and under, flipping it in, but very quickly Trinity down the other way, answering themselves.
Cuellar passes it up to Martin. Now up at the top of the three-point arc. That one won't fall, and Jamie Reedy with the board. Reedy loses the ball for just a moment. A good swipe from Cuellar. Jamie Reedy trying to drive it through the Roo defense. That's going to be a travel called on Reedy, so Roos will get the ball back. They're still down by 4, but Trinity trying to keep up with their fast pace that they love so much here in the early parts of this one. Martin gives it up to Cuellar. Cuellar trying to find Mudart, instead intercepted by Napoli. Tigers are very good at getting takeaways as well. And Natalie Anderson with the open layup. So Tigers extend the lead as the Roos left Natalie Anderson a bit too open there.
Yeah, in the first couple of possessions for Austin College, they did a nice job of breaking the press, and they do so again here. A fantastic job finding Matthews underneath the basket. She has all 4 points for Austin College. First couple of times down, this press for Trinity did exactly what it wanted, though. Kind of just takes Austin College out of their offense. Clearly, Josie Napoli was able to get a steal in one of those possessions as well. She gets called for a travel right there. Shoveled her feet just a little bit too much as she was trying to get going. But I think that's exactly what Trinity wants early on in the game, is just get the opposing team out of their offense a little bit unsettled. And as the fatigue sets in, you see more and more turnovers develop as the game goes along.
Tigers are the home team, but a couple traveling problems right now. Austin College with an opportunity to cut the deficit. It's always dangerous to pass cross court because there are so many Tigers who can fly for interceptions. And Maggie Robbins punts the ball into the stands for the world's most obvious kickball violation, probably.
Yeah, usually you don't make contact that good that it sends it almost into the first row. It's usually kind of just dribbling off, but she got that one pretty square. I wonder if there's any teams looking for kickers at this point in the year.
Trinity University women's soccer may be taking a peek now, but Austin College dishes it in. Matthews, or Trailer rather, back out to Mudart. Mudart can't hit the three. And now Matthews trying to kick it back out. But it's going to be Tiger ball as that one ends up out of bounds. Napoli will inbound it to Maggie Robbins. Robbins always conducting the offense very well. Jamie Reedy up to Robbins. Robbins driving it in the paint right now. Looking for an open Tiger. Back out to Napoli. Over to Robbins. Robbins takes a three. And she sinks a three. So 11-4 as Maggie Robbins posts up and crushes the three. Now Austin College. Once again, the Trinity press. Always so imposing. And that ball will be lost. And Cuellar will turn it over to the Tigers.
And a great job forcing that turnover. Of course, we've talked about this press a lot already, and the fact that it's a big reason as to why this Trinity offense puts up so many points. But we've talked about it in a capacity where they don't get that many live ball turnovers early in a game. It's mostly at this point to get other teams out of system, and it might leave some people questioning how do they put up that many points. Well, it's because of how good they are from three, and already they're showing it here this evening.
A complete line change for the Tigers. Bailey Timmons with the ball. Hits it down to Sky O'Rourke, up to Ivory Scott. As the Tigers are helping me introduce the new line, Kylie Minter driving it into the paint. And Minter can't get it. Annika Signs, the last new face on the court for Trinity, coming in to defend that one. Roos dishing it into the paint. Ball is loose. It's still alive though, and that one kicked down the floor. It's going to be a Tiger ball. As another timeout will hit the floor very quickly, just to reset things here for both sides. And some new players for Austin College as well. Number 25, Avery Sweeney. Number 30, Kaylee Smith as well, entering the game for Austin College. And I believe we'll see Naomi Anamekwe enter the court out of this timeout. I believe I saw her by the scorer's table. But early on, the Tigers really clicking on offense.
Yeah, and they've taken advantage of a couple of nice opportunities from deep. Already have made 2 of those shots, and in a 7-point game, that's almost the entire advantage they have. But they're also limiting their turnovers right now. Austin College simply hasn't had the opportunity to put up as many shots. Just 5 taken so far, with a little bit over 5 minutes left, or 5 minutes gone, I should say, in this first quarter. They're going to have to clean that up if they want to stay in it with this Trinity team.
And one of the things that would be important to monitor is this is a young Austin College team, only 2 seniors on the squad, or really just a couple of seniors. Anna Mekwe, Mariana Burt, 2 of the seniors on this Austin College team that is chock full of freshmen and sophomores. Annika Sainz posts up but can't sink the 3, so a chance for Austin College, but an ambush of Tigers harassing Trailer. It's going to be a foul called there, so Austin College will retain possession.
Great job from Trailer protecting that one with really 2 Tigers bracketing her all the way down the court. They were on either side trying to take that one away. She just outran them and ultimately survived that contact to hold on to the basketball.
Anna Mekwe passes it. And now Austin College working it down the arc at the top of the key. The ball is lost for a little bit, but regained. And a nice interception by Kylie Minter. Minter with the behind-the-back pass. Bailey Timmons puts it in. Some flashy passing from the Tigers. For a highlight reel play, ball ends up in the stands.
Had me up out of my seat for just a second. Pretty close quarters there as she reached the basket. It was a pretty narrow window, and she just snuck it to her teammate. What a play by Minter right here. Get another look at it. Whipped it right around, and a great look. Had the bench going crazy.
Nice interception to start that all off. Caleb Harmel should have been an AFCA first team, but we won't talk about that. O'Rourke up to Minter. Minter trying to dish it in, but can't find anybody. Easy pickoff for the Roos. Trailer loses the ball, and it's going to be a travel. So Austin College will retain possession.
Get a quick little replay. Minter doing a nice job of taking that one right away. Couldn't tell from that angle if she took too many steps or not. Looked like she caught it and got it to her teammate rather quickly, but continues some great defense down low, stripping that one out of bounds. And again, Austin College will keep hold of it on the baseline.
Another inbound pass for Austin College. Martin trying to find somebody. Ivory Scott with the takeaway. Scott getting it over to Timmons, and Timmons can't put in the layup. Lucky break for Austin College. Anna Mekwe with the rebound. Lexi Martin quickly driving it down. Sweeney will get called for the travel. Put too much on the pivot there. So 13-4. Tigers had an open Bailey Timmons. And Austin College, 9 turnovers, and about 4.5 minutes. Tigers are playing some really good defense right now. Minter looking for an opening. Starts working it up the arc, gets it into Timmons. Bailey Timmons, that one won't fall, but a rebound by Sky O'Rourke. Annika Sainz down to Sky O'Rourke, takes the 3, but will be called for the travel. So a lot of traveling calls here early on in this one. About 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
And O'Rourke catching that one on the wing. Seemed just a bit indecisive. Didn't know if she wanted to launch, and in the process shuffled her feet just a little bit. Right now, Minter playing all of the passing lanes. Doing a great job defensively. Has come away with a couple of steals. A nice job making a good play on that one to knock it out of bounds.
And this Tigers team, all these players are so fast. It is dangerous to make those long passes, because it's always going to be contested, and whistle blown, it'll be Tiger ball.
And the bench getting a little rowdy right there. It looked like that should have been a 10-second call. Ultimately, it went out of bounds off Austin College. So one way or another, Trinity wound up with it, but certainly something to keep an eye on. Providing a ton of great pressure in the backcourt and almost taking the ball away via that violation.
Sainz trying to get it in. Anna Mekwe gets an arm on it. So Tigers will get a chance to reset this play. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Sainz will be the ones to make the inbound pass. Minter Minter gets it in to Timmons. Timmons with another shot attempt. That one won't fall. Austin College with the rebound. Driving it quick. It's put up and put in. And a big cheer from the Austin College bench. Kaylee Smith being the one to finish that one off. The freshman from McKinney, Texas. She will get man one as well, as two more players enter for Trinity. Number 2 and number 21, Jalen Martin and Maddie Moeller, respectively.
It's a good job from O'Rourke on that one, getting back based on that replay. A lot closer than I initially thought, but it's been a much better job out of this Austin College side. Last couple of times down the court have really come when they recognize the miss and get out in transition. Got a much better look at the basket right there and converted it into some points to keep this one at a very respectable 7-point deficit at this point.
Signs with an open three. That one off the side of the rim, and ultimately just deciding to hit it off one of the Rue players to reset the play is Bailey Timmons. So 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Muller gets it in to Annika Signs. Signs up to Timmons. Bailey Timmons trying to drive it in, loses the ball. Anamekwe there to scoop it up. Martin, the team leader in points per game, driving it down the court. Lexi trying to get it into Anamekwe. She does. Naomi puts it up and puts it in. So 13-8 as the deficit is cut further. Trinity about a 2-minute 40-second scoring drop right now. Certainly looking to quench that. Signs puts it up from 3 and she sinks it. Annika Signs had some good games against Southwestern and TLU. Hits a 3 there to quench the drought right when the Tigers need it. Sweeney will take a 3. And that one too strong. Tigers able to rebound. Now Trinity, Annika Signs passes it over to Timmons. Down to Minter. Minter thought about a 3. Decides against it. Jalen Martin trying to drive it in. Gets it up to Signs. Signs takes a 3 off the front of the rim. So now Austin College with another chance to bring this game closer. And a quick post up won't fall. Maddie Moeller, and it's contested. It's going to be a jump ball. So Austin College will get possession off of the quote-unquote jump ball, because we, of course, don't jump for it at the college level.
Last time they had a baseline out of bounds, they ran a nice play. They had an open look on one of these blocks. It was just great defense from Trinity. Deflection led to an opportunity in transition, but a nice job right there from Anamekwe, corralling that loose ball after another deflection, getting all the way to the rim and finishing to cut this one to 6.
And Kylie Minter sinks it from 3, so 19-10. Tigers trying to heat up again. Minter gets it to Timmons, and Timmons can't get the layup. 10 seconds on the clock. Timmons having some bad luck with those layups right now. But Austin College, no shot clock, likely to be the last ones to get a shot off. It's going to be highly contested by Timmons. 3 seconds run off the clock. See if they can get it down the court. Hail Mary throw. And Anamekwe did touch it, so it's going to be Tiger ball. So now the Tigers get a chance to get one down the court and put up a shot. Minter will be the one to take it. 5 seconds on the clock. Minter, 1 second left. Maybe didn't realize how much time was actually on the board. Got the pass off to Signs after the buzzer sounded. But end of the first quarter, Tigers up 19-10 over the Roos. And both sides have certainly played well in that first quarter, but the Tigers currently with that nearly double-digit lead.
Yeah, and Austin College doing a nice job settling in and making some shots, shooting a very respectable 50% from the field, but they've yet to knock down an attempt from 3. Only 3 attempted, however. It's really the eyesore in the box score right now is the 14 turnovers they had in that quarter. So to be within 9 points right now, I think you're counting your blessings despite your lack of success from deep. If you're Trinity, I think you would be happy with 41% shooting. You're happy with 50% from three. 50% from the free throw line doesn't mean much when you've only shot 2, but I think at this point in the game, you're hoping that you're going to start converting some more of those turnovers into points straight up. But Austin College doing a nice job of getting back in transition. Some other opportunities where Trinity has had some open layups. Of course, they've missed. Right now, Austin College really going to need to clean things up, taking care of the basketball if they want to stay in this one and limit the damage, close that deficit down a bit.
Starting 5 back on the court for Trinity. Maggie Robbins gets us started off. Looking for a Tiger, gets it to Napoli. Napoli trying to get it to King, but instead Austin College with the nice defensive play hits up an open Rue, but the layup not falling. And Robbins up to Reedy, down to Napoli. Josie puts it up. Can't get it to fall. And it's going to be Tiger ball as the officials come together to make sure what the right call was. So Napoli will inbound it. Napoli searching for Maggie Robbins, able to connect with her. Robbins drives it into the paint. And 21-10 will be the score as Maggie Robbins drives in a nice, easy layup for herself.
Yeah, and a little bit of a longer developing play off that inbounds. It looked like you had Napoli coming open off that screen right off the inbounds, chose to defer that, and of course Robbins getting all the way to the basket off the nice screen from King.
That one doesn't fall for Cuellar, nor did it fall for Rayleigh McDonald, who put up for 3 for Austin College. New face in the game for the Roos. That ball is fumbled. Napoli having to be careful, not wanting it to step over the line. Tigers able to get out of that one. Napoli drives it in, but that one blocked by the 6'2" sophomore, Brooklyn Matthews. And now another good opportunity for the Roos. But a travel is going to be called on McDonald, freshman out of Aledo, Texas. Turning the ball over to the Tigers. Robbins up to Reedy, who gives it back to the conductor. We'll see how she conducts the offense this time. Takes it in, tries to find Natalie Anderson, as they both share a smile there, as Anderson was not at the top of the arc. She was driving in. So Austin College gets the benefit of a turnover. And the Roos launching it down the court, picked off by King. Making it like King didn't have that kind of speed. Well, she does, and Napoli sinks it from 3. So 24-10 as Tigers are firing on all cylinders from the perimeter.
Right there, it was really pick your poison. Napoli wide open on that wing, and just a couple feet away from her was Reedy. Both very prolific three-point shooters. Napoli knocking it down that time.
Now trying to drive it in. Ball is dropped. And jump ball, so Trinity will get the jump ball this time as the possession arrow changes. Or it'll be Austin College ball. I think they're going to call a foul on Trinity.
I think there's a bit of confusion. I saw one of the referees throw up jump ball on the other side of the court and that out of bounds kind of in the corner when they changed possession. So I think that might have influenced the decision right here, another jump ball, but unbeknownst to us, there had been a jump ball already in this quarter.
And now that one hopped up to Napoli. It's going to be Rue basketball as another Hail Mary throw. Seeing a lot of big passes here. And Austin College trying to cut the deficit. Down by 14 right now. Cuellar from the top of the key. Sinks it from there. 24-12. Nice little shot by Cuellar, by Maggie Robbins and the Tigers trying to respond to that.
Robbins really just trying to gather the offense, and she does exactly that right there. A great backdoor cut from Anderson, just sneaking right behind her defender. Robbins realizing the head was turned and throwing that pass perfectly timed. Both teams really in need of cleaning things up right now as Reedy comes back the other way off the deflection. She gets fouled. I think that's now 18 turnovers, yes, for Austin College, but Trinity has 10 of their own. So 28 total turnovers here in San Antonio. Still almost 7 minutes left in this second quarter as you see the foul right there. Reedy really initiating that contact and earning this trip to the free throw line. She knocks down the first.
And when Maggie Robbins is on the court, it's very rare not to see any offensive possession not start with her. She has a very high basketball IQ. She sees pretty much everything on the court. It's what's made her one of the best pickpockets that this program has ever had. As she works her way up the record books in that steals category. Austin College looking to respond. McDonald fumbles the ball. And Tigers will get possession back. Another turnover for Austin College. And once again, whistle blown.
Not entirely sure what the stoppage was there. I know the turnover was because of a 10-second violation. There was a little bit of a scramble for the basketball, lots of hands on it on the ground as that one gets taken away in transition. Austin College back down the court.
And one for number 20. Avery Miller. A rare fumble by Maggie Robbins led to this layup attempt by Miller, collecting her own missed shot and putting it back in for an and one. So a good opportunity for the Roos. And the and one doesn't go. Tigers able to rebound it. Napoli over to Robbins. Robbins driving it in. Shoots it out. Napoli puts it up near the free throw line. Swishes it, so Tigers able to respond. Up 30-14 with about 6 minutes left in the second quarter.
Napoli now with 8 points on just 5 shots. Very efficient so far as Anderson takes that one away, finds her teammate, and Reedy unable to finish it in transition. Anderson taking it right back, just reaching over the top of the defender and finishing that one. Great job defensively from Natalie Anderson right there, just forcing the issue, doing a lot of it herself.
And Natalie Anderson, she's a good point scorer, but a very underappreciated aspect is she's 6 foot, so that height comes in very handily when trying to get rebounds. Martin down to Amaris Cuellar, trying to get it into the paint. 3 attempt from Martin. That one a bit too weak there, and they keep it alive, but Tigers able to get the ball. Reedy being able to box out the Kangaroo, trying to harass her. Lane King can't put it up, so Roos will maintain possession. 32-14 as a good defensive stop from Austin College there.
Yeah, a pretty chaotic first half, all in all here in San Antonio. Trinity pretty well in control of this, pulling ahead by nearly 20 points. It's an 18-point deficit for Austin College, but it feels like it could be a lot more, considering the missed layups in transition, the amount of turnovers that we've already seen from this Trinity side. They cleaned that up a little bit, and they're really running away with this one.
Timeout on the floor. We'll see Annika Sainz out of this timeout. 32-14. Trinity extending their lead just a little bit, and Austin College shooting percentage has fallen a little bit as the Tigers have forced 21 turnovers. Still have 5 minutes left to go in this half. It seems almost every other possession that the Roos get is a takeaway by the Tigers.
Yeah, just 18 shots for Austin College to this point. More turnovers than shots. Never going to be a great recipe for success. Averaging over 10 a quarter at this point. So we're going to have to monitor that the rest of the way. Trinity clearly a ton of defensive pressure. It's coming in the press, but it's also remaining consistent in the half court. A lot of active hands and limiting second chance points on top of all of that.
It's also helping that the Roos need to worry about multiple threats from the perimeter, because Napoli, Reedy, Robbins, and Anderson really are all able to post up and hit it from far. Annika Saenz going up against the tall Brooklyn Matthews, able to get it out. The shot won't fall. Natalie Anderson with the board. Now Napoli slowing the game down a little bit on offense. Minter, another one of those three-point threats, dishes it in to Anderson. Down to King. Anderson draws the foul. Austin College, some hands on heads there, as we will get some more free throws for the Tigers.
We talked about Anderson, obviously great size, and that plays into how she's utilized in the press and how she's utilized defensively all the way back in set possessions. But offensively, at 6 foot, it's really hard to defend when she's moving off ball the way she is, right? Made an initial cut, she got the ball, didn't have anything there, she kicked it back out, and just continued moving, forcing the issue, and ultimately she winds up at the free throw line.
1 for 1 at the charity stripe. Ball is loose. Anderson picks it up. Minter puts up for 3. That one off the rim. So Austin College trying to avoid another turnover and letting the offense get set. Amaris working it down. Passes it down to Miller. Gets it into the paint for Matthews. And Matthews gets the layup. Brooklyn Matthews using her height to her advantage there. 33-16, Tigers still leading.
And a great job of just keeping that pivot foot, navigating down low amongst some pretty tall heads on this Trinity team, ultimately finding just enough of a crack to slide through and get that up off the glass.
They're going to call a travel there. So another travel call on the Tigers. Austin College will get an opportunity to cut the lead. So Elaine King and Natalie Anderson come off the court. Bailey Timmons re-enters the game along with Jalen Martin. Now 2 Martins on the court with Lexi Martin as well.
Looks like they're calling an over and back there. There was a lot of defensive pressure. I guess the referees didn't see any contact with the ball from this Trinity side. So they'll regain possession with just over 3 minutes here in the second quarter.
Timmons hands it up to Napoli, and now Saenz with the 3. That one a bit strong, but Minter with the offensive rebound. Napoli will post up for 3. She sinks it. So 36-16 as the Tigers hit another one from downtown.
You're right about that. A couple of opportunities she's taken from well beyond the 3-point arc, and she's knocked them down easily.
And that one was airmailed by number 10, Megan O'Neill, senior guard out of Irving, Texas, in the game for the Roos. Minter will be the one to conduct things on offense for this possession. Defers it down to Timmons. Timmons over to Napoli. Josie getting it up to Minter, takes a 3, and she sinks it. So 39-16 as the Tigers start to pull away from the Roos.
Just a great pass from Napoli right there. Swing all the way across the court over the heads of the defenders. Minter catching that one with a ton of space. The defenders, their backs turned towards her. She knocks it down confidently, and the Roos all out of sorts right now. Another 10-second violation, just struggling immensely against this Trinity press, and it turns into another turnover here.
Sky O'Rourke and Maddie Muller on the court. Kylie Minter will head back to the bench for now. Tigers up by a good margin, certainly looking to extend it. Coach Hill telling us every possession is meaningful no matter what point in the game you are at. And Maddie Muller proves it there by getting the nice layup. Good finish for Muller. And now Austin College running it down the court. Anamekwe will get the layup. A nice finish for Anamekwe. But it looks like she has landed awkwardly. She's back up, but she is limping. And it looks like Anamekwe is going to head back to the bench.
Yeah, really no initial indication whether she was going to stay in or come out, but pretty quickly made her way over to the bench. Good to see her walk off under her own power, get up so quickly, but certainly going to need to work that one out. Saw a little bit of it in the replay. Just rolled that ankle and went to the ground.
Mariana Burt, another senior on this Austin College team, dealing with Maddie Muller, now dealing with Timmons. Timmons out to Signs. Signs. Some fancy handling with the ball there. Jalen Martin dishes it out to Muller, and Muller just a little short. Annika Signs back over to Muller. Muller trying to drive it in. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Timmons thought about a three. Thinks better of it. Gets it to Muller, and Muller with a contested three. That one won't fall either. Minute left in the half. That one does not fall for Martin. Lexi Martin can't get that one, but Austin College able to keep it alive. Bit of a fancy flick from Burt. And now Burt gets it up to Trinity Williams, who came in for the injured Anamekwe. The three from Martin, Lexi Martin, I should say, does not fall. So Tigers, 30 seconds left. Timmons trying to drive it in, out to Muller. Muller will get another shot at it. That one in and out. Martin with the rebound. That one will fall. So 43-18. Austin College will have the last shot if they so choose. But instead, Tigers get another takeaway. Signs off the back of the rim. So once again, same situation. 4 seconds left. Martin gets a hand on it. And about 7/10 of a second left. Be impressed if anyone could get a shot off in that amount of time. Looks like our first half score is likely cemented at 43-18. We'll do the formality. And the last second shot doesn't go for Burt, even if she did get it off. So 43-18 is our score at the end of this first half. The Tigers, they are 7 for 16 from downtown tonight. I think the story right now is that, along with the turnovers that the Tigers have been able to force from the Roos.
Yeah, and we'll see all of those stats simultaneously here in just a second, but 25 total turnovers in that first half for Austin College. Trinity with 12 of their own that I'm sure they're not too happy about. Some opportunities that they missed in transition, some layups that kind of just fell off. When you consider all those things, the fact that they're up 43-18 speaks volumes to their dominance. One of the best teams in the country year in and year out the last several seasons. They have no signs of slowing down. Well underway in SCAC play here this year. They've been fantastic.
And the Tigers have 14 steals, and maybe an odd stat, none of them have been from Maggie Robbins. The prolific pickpocket has perhaps taught her trade to the other Tigers on the court. But Trinity right now doing a very good job, really, in every aspect. And certainly the defensive effort from the Tigers, something that has been a little bit of a struggle at the start of the year, has certainly come alive here as Austin College has only scored 18 in this first half.
Yeah, played some really close games early on this year. Certainly a very tough non-conference schedule. Maybe more so than what we're used to seeing even, but it's certainly paying dividends here to start off their conference year. Just 18 points in that first half for the Roos. They sharpened themselves well in non-conference play, and it's translating early on.
We will take a quick break on the Tiger Network, about a 13-minute one before the second half comes along. Stay tuned on the Tiger Network as the Tigers lead it 43-18 against Austin College. We're almost back here in CalGuard Gym to start the second half. Trinity is up 43-18. And one of the keys of the game heading into this one for the Tigers was to get hot from the arc. And Luke, they've certainly been successful in that aspect tonight, haven't they?
Yeah, great showing from the outside. 7 of 16 for almost 44% from range. Absolutely stellar performance from shooting deep right now. Talked about it. One of the best offenses in the country. One of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. I think they average about 10 makes a game, so well on their way to that total.
And now Jamie Reedy and the Tigers start off the second half with possession. Napoli trying to drive it in. Kicks it out to Reedy. A little contention there, but Tigers maintain possession. Napoli can't get it in once, tries it again. It will be Tiger ball as the Roos deny Napoli. So Robbins will be the one to get the ball out, able to find Napoli. Napoli doesn't hand it off to Anderson, takes it herself. And now having to deal with some nice pressure from Austin College. And Austin College, a good defensive stand. It's not often that you see the Tigers have a shot clock violation, so good on the Roos.
And Napoli really putting her head down a couple of times on that possession, finding a way to penetrate and get inside, just met by some much taller defenders once she was there, wasn't able to get her shot off. It took a large portion of that shot clock.
That one's put up for Matthews. Can't get it down, so Reedy and the Tigers storm back down the court. Reedy up for Maggie Robbins, puts up for three and sinks it. 46-18 as the Tigers continue to blister the nets from the arc.
And a great take from Robbins right there, just walking into that one with the utmost confidence. She certainly shoots them with confidence. Maybe not the most prolific three-point shooter on the roster nonetheless, like Napoli and Reedy, but has had a great start to this year from deep.
Jamie Reedy will have a three, and she sinks it. Jamie Reedy up 49-18 are the Tigers now. And a great shot by Reedy, and just her first home game with the Tigers, she tied the team record for threes made in the game. Tigers get another takeaway, and Natalie Anderson with an easy layup, and the Tigers have broken the half-century mark, 51-18 now.
Just textbook right there from Napoli, recognizing that the Tigers had the advantage, recognizing who was right there with her personnel-wise. Saw Reedy on the wing who had just made a shot from that range, but looked off the defender, and Anderson was wide open, streaking down the lane.
Lexi Martin made that three, but Robbins quick to respond for the Tigers, 53-21. And Lexi Martin, one of those players that the Roos really need to heat up. Those were her first points of the game, and she is the leading scorer for Austin College. It's always an unforgiving position to be in as a freshman, to be the starting point guard that goes out and gets the majority of your points. But always a good experience for any young player to play against the defense at Trinity. Reedy gets it over to King, works it in the paint, and will draw the foul. So some more shots from the charity stripe for the Tigers.
Great start to this second half. See the replay right there. Contact before Matthews was able to get her hand on the basketball. So that'll send King to the line. Trinity really just humming, kind of clicking on all cylinders, but also on the other side, a better start to this half for Austin College. We talked about it pretty extensively going into the break. They had more turnovers than shot attempts as they entered the locker room. So just cleaning that up, making sure that those numbers get turned around as you might imagine you want them to be. So far, they've gotten some good looks. Next step is just getting them to fall.
Matthews being surrounded by Tigers. Roos kick it back out to the arc. Martin posts up again. That one a bit strong, however. So Trinity driving it down the court. Maggie Robbins takes it herself, and some nice acrobatics from Maggie Robbins. You see why she leads the offense. And now the Roos back on the attack. Get it into Trailer, and that one off the front of the iron. So Trinity, another attempt, trying to go for a bit of a flashy play there, but Napoli overthrows Anderson. And head coach for Austin College, Michelle Phylander, telling me that Lexi Martin is in one of the toughest situations as a freshman to be that leader on the offense at the college level. But she's been proud of her maturity in her approach and her ability to regulate her emotions on the court. And Martin kicks it out. Over back to Martin now. Trying to get the pass all the way down to Cuellar. Cuellar, tough shot, but a nice make from Amaris Cuellar.
Yeah, a little bit of contact right there between Cuellar and Scott. Scott doing just enough to deter her without fouling, but just better shot making from Cuellar right there. Gets the bucket to go, exactly what Austin College needs to see, especially as you're talking about out of these young players. A lot of youth on the court, getting a lot of minutes as part of this starting unit. So a lot of growing opportunities here in San Antonio, a very good defense, and one where you'll be better because of your experience playing against it.
Mudart dishes it in, and Matthews, ball gets punched out by Scott. So Robbins hands it over to Scott. Down to Napoli, takes the three, and she sinks it. And the Tigers do it yet again, 59-23 the score now. As Trinity has been having a very nice team game, 10 threes now on the night. Austin College just trying to match the pace, but instead another takeaway. Napoli with the open layup. Gets it easy as that, 61-23. Austin College moving quickly. Now Trailer trying to find Matthews. Instead, another turnover. Anderson almost got stripped by Cuellar, but instead Napoli trying to put up a bit of an underhanded layup. Instead, we'll draw the foul, so more opportunities from the charity stripe for Trinity.
With that, have our first media timeout of the second half, 4:47 left here in the third quarter. You were just talking about the shot making, specifically from the outside, and we'll harp on it a lot, but it's because it's so important to this roster and to this team. They rely very heavily on it. We saw early on in the year some games where they trailed late in second halves. We saw it just this weekend against Texas Lutheran, and then all of a sudden things start to drop, and it totally changes the makeup of this team, puts them in great position, and it's a big reason they're ahead right now.
The Tigers forcing a lot of turnovers. They have 19 steals on the night as a team. It's been a great effort all around to really keep an Austin College team in check. Tigers once again predicted to reign supreme as SCAC champions. And to do so, you have to play and you have to meet expectations. And right now, the Tigers are certainly doing that in a very big way. Out of the timeout, we'll start off with some free throws from Napoli. Anna Mekwe back on the court for Austin College. As the first free throw from Josie Napoli. Bounces in, 62-23 now. And Napoli sinks them both, so 63-23. Austin College. Once again, Tigers press no matter what. Minter and Napoli just take the ball away there. Scott with an open three. She sinks it. It may be raining outside, but in CalGuard Gym, it rains threes as Trinity goes up 66-23.
feels like the biggest thing with this team, Reed, is that everyone is a threat from the outside, and it makes a lot of sense. We've talked with Coach Hill throughout the course of this year, but one of the first conversations we had was about the shooting and the emphasis on it in this offseason. Instead, they did a lot of just individual work with all of the players on the roster, shooting from the inside, shooting from the mid-range, and shooting from three, and clearly it's paying off this year.
Austin College looking to cut the deficit. Post up for three. That one rims out. Annika Saenz able to get the rebound. Saenz will lead the Tigers down the court. Hand it over to Minter. Minter up to Scott. Ivory Scott fumbles the ball. Likely get a jump ball here. And instead, possession will turn over to Austin College as our possession arrow changes. Austin College, another young team in the SCAC. Tigers will have to gear up to face another young team in Dallas tomorrow. That one ends up out of bounds. Roos maintain possession. 15-2 run for the Tigers right now. 8 for their last 8 shots. Seems like everything is going the Tigers' way right now. That one put up. That one off the back of the rim.
One thing you just mentioned, Reed, is kind of the youth in the conference, obviously here with this Austin College team and a Dallas roster that they'll see tomorrow as Minter's shot is just off the rim. This is a Trinity team that had a ton of turnover on the roster itself, and despite that, kind of just remaining steady as one of the top teams in the country. We saw the men's team that was ranked in the top 25 for the first time in 15 years. This is a women's team that's been really in the top 10 for the large part of the last couple of years as Minter hits another 3 for this Trinity roster. So a lot of seniority on last year's team that departs, a lot of youth on this Trinity team as well, but really not missing a beat at all.
Now Anamekwe working it in the paint. Gets the layup, 69-27. And it was certainly a lot of turnover, so much that could put out a starting 5 that was all seniors that were really, really good. Open 3 from Timmons. That one won't fall. Scott with the rebound and the foul drawn. So more attempts from the charity stripe for Trinity as they are currently leading by 42.
Yeah, just a huge showing in this third quarter. 26-9 advantage and still over 2 minutes left with a couple of free throws pending immediately. Haven't seen this team break the century mark so far this year, and they weren't on pace at the half, but trending that direction with their performance that they're putting on here in the third quarter.
Tigers beat Southwestern to open up conference play 88-59, and Coach Hill told us it was a lot of fun since Southwestern has a new head coach. Always good to get a refreshing perspective on how a team handles you. And then to go to TLU with a major comeback win as that pass heads out of bounds, but Tiger touched it, so Roos maintained possession. Tigers were down for a lot of that game, needed a buzzer beater from Natalie Anderson. And Coach Hill telling us that the entire experience was surreal. Anamekwe working it tough in the paint and draws the foul.
You mentioned that for the first time. Can't believe it's taken us so long to get to that play. It was really fun listening to Coach Hill discuss that one and kind of walk us through his mindset. But like you said, surreal, one of the words. A little bit of panic in the moment, the pressure of needing to get the play right, and he certainly did. Just a great one that he drew up, executed perfectly, and sent that game into overtime where Trinity handled things the rest of the way.
Ivory Scott takes the pass from Annika Saenz, who had the rebound. Scott trying to spin around, loses the ball. A nice takeaway from Megan O'Neill. O'Neill having to get away from Muller, however, who immediately came in to attack. O'Neill with the 3. That one off the rim. And Austin College handing it over to Anamekwe. Open three opportunity is sunk. So a nice three from Austin College, but a big lobbing pass over to Sky O'Rourke as the Tigers are immediately on the attack yet again. And Muller trying to get it into Sky O'Rourke. Instead, that one will end up out of bounds. There's some more substitutions for Austin College. They are working it down quickly, and jump ball forced by Jalen Martin.
Man, pretty interesting group on the court right now for Trinity. We just talked about youth and seniority, and it's 4 sophomores or younger out there. I think Annika Signs, the oldest of this group, and even then she transferred in last year, so she's just in her second year in the program. So some relatively fresh faces as compared to some of the other names on this roster, and they're getting a full 5 run out there.
It was a good attempt from Scott to try and keep it alive. A couple threes taken by Trinity that don't fall. So Austin College will have another opportunity, but that one's fumbled. Ivory Scott can't put it in. Maddie Muller will draw the foul. So back to the charity stripe go the Tigers, as they have been very good at drawing those shooting fouls. Just a little too many cooks in the kitchen there under the net. Contact was inevitable.
And this group remaining relentless, even in the context of this game. Still here in the third quarter, but seems well in the hand. Trinity almost ahead by a full 40. That free throw does make it 40. Despite that, continuing to play hard, something that you touched on kind of briefly earlier in the broadcast, this philosophy that Coach Hill carries, that no matter what the state of a game is, all minutes carry meaning, and that same thing applies here. It's a group that is young, maybe not a lineup that you see play together all the time, but for that reason, getting the opportunity for this group to play together and showcase what they can do as a unit of 5 makes these minutes important to Coach Hill.
Tigers will get possession after Ivory Scott collided with an Austin College player. Scott will take the inbounds pass. About 30 seconds left, about matching the shot clock. Muller trying to get it into Signs. Bit of an errant pass though. Scott contending with Matthews. That one put up and in by Kaylee Smith. 10 seconds on the clock. Muller over to Martin, puts up the 3. That one off the rim. 4 seconds left. Austin College gets blocked by Sky O'Rourke to end the third quarter, as Kaylee Smith is unable to get that last shot off. So Trinity up by 39 heading into the fourth quarter. They are doing very well for themselves. In those last 3 minutes, Austin College had some nice opportunities, and Trinity right now hasn't made a shot in the last 3 minutes. But either way, it has been a dazzling offensive performance from Trinity.
And right when we went to this break, it looked like the starters walked to the scorer's table getting ready to check back in to really hammer this thing home to start off the fourth quarter. It was really their strong start out of the half that kind of allowed them to coast towards the end of that quarter. They were a huge spark en route to 29 points that quarter, but on the other side, Austin College with their best period of the evening, 15 themselves, settled in very nicely and limited the turnovers there. I think they went into the half with 25, just 9 in that period, so a pretty significant improvement. We talked about the fact that they're running out a lineup with 2 true freshman guards, and seeing in-game improvement and adjustment like that is something that's always very important and certainly meaningful to a coaching staff.
And just like you said, Luke, the starters back on the court for the start of the fourth quarter. Trinity really looking to walk away with a win. But a nice shot by the freshman, or by the sophomore rather, Brooklyn Matthews, 6'2" player, just really utilizing her size.
And she did a great job originally to just put herself in a position in the middle of the paint. Just created that advantage, sealing off Natalie Anderson. All she had to do was catch and finish, and she did that despite a little bit of contact there.
Napoli looking for an opening, gets it over to Robbins. Maggie Robbins steps back. Napoli doesn't take the three, instead drives it in. Takes the layup, so Tigers up 74-35. Around the SCAC, currently Schreiner up on Dallas 28-23. Halftime over there in Kerrville, and a nice block from Anderson. And a good job by Napoli to keep it alive. So not wasting any time off the clock. Maggie Robbins gets the pass, tries to get it in for Napoli, instead in the hands of Lexi Martin. And that one punched out of bounds. It will stay Austin College ball.
You mentioned that nice save from Napoli, this last defensive possession for Trinity. Just great recognition that her teammate made contact with that. Great job of diving out of bounds to save that, get the rebound, make sure that possession didn't go back to Austin College. She just continues to play hard on both ends of the court, running really well right there, and it ultimately leads to that wide open layup for her.
22 points for Napoli on the night, and it's like we talked about with Coach Hill in our first talk, as Lexi Martin puts up a nice bucket, that any player on any given night can be that player that puts up 20-plus points on this team. And that one hit back. Napoli able to recover. Napoli trying to get around a court of kangaroos. That one ends up in the Roos' hands. Lexi Martin handing it up to Moodhart, who goes back down to Cuellar. Cuellar back up to Moodhart. Moodhart and Cuellar trading passes. Trailer putting it up for Matthews. Matthews able to get it. Martin trying to get it to Matthews, but overthrown. So Tigers will get the ball back. Napoli able to inbound it to Maggie Robbins. Tigers off to the races again. Robbins up to King. Elaine King down to Reedy, who gets it to King. And King can't put it up and in. The slight bobble by King, able to give the Roos defense enough time to stop any points from being scored there. From the elbow, Martin is no good. Rebound by Natalie Anderson. Robbins driving it in, handing it over to King. Rosie Napoli drives it in herself, and nearly another layup. And I think the ball went out of bounds there.
Yeah, I think it was Martin who caught that rebound. She just hadn't fully established herself back in bounds. It was a great defensive effort. Josie Napoli doing a nice job, just changing pace. Very experienced guard. Also in her second year as a part of this Trinity program. A huge addition to last year's team, someone that came over from one of those schools in the Pacific Northwest. Was an immediate impact player for this Trinity side.
Timeout will hit the floor as the Tigers go up 78-37. And Napoli has just been very effective at driving the ball through the Roos defense and getting those layups.
Yeah, just great pacing on that last drive. Even though she couldn't get that one to fall, slowing herself down, allowing that defender to fly by her, and it created that space to get it up off the glass. She's just been incredibly efficient all evening. 22 on 8 of 13 shooting, and she's knocked down all 4 of her three-point attempts. Just a great showing for the junior.
And the Kangaroos, probably one of the better mascots in the SCAC, I'd say. I mean, who else can you name other than the Australian national soccer team that has the Kangaroos as their mascot?
Not a very common one, but certainly one of the more enjoyable. Certainly very fun.
Comes from the 1850s, where the upperclassmen up at Austin College would try the underclassmen in kangaroo courts. That's how they got their mascot name. As the Roos and Tigers head back out, Tigers proving to defend their jungle with ease. And whistle blown there. Minter will be the ones to inbound. Gets it up to O'Rourke. Minter has enjoyed shooting from the perimeter tonight. Hands it over to Signs. Signs tosses it over to O'Rourke. O'Rourke driving it in to Minter. Takes the 3. And just a bit short there. So Austin College hopping down the court, able to get it, and a nice layup by number 12, Rayleigh McDonald. 6'1" freshman. Now Maddie Muller goes down the arc just a bit, settling at the top of the key, passes it up to Sky O'Rourke. O'Rourke drives it in, back out, deep 3 from Timmons, and she sinks it from way downtown. 81-39 is the score now.
Yeah, she was a good 4 or 5 feet beyond that three-point arc. Seen it a couple of times. Napoli has taken some shots, certainly from very deep. That one, a very impressive make for Timmons' first of the evening. Just adds to the tally of Tigers that have made a 3 tonight.
And the big pass, Muller thought she kept it alive, but no. Official says you had a foot out of bounds, so Roos will get the ball back as Naomi Anamekwe with points number 10 and 11 on that layup. Hits double digits for herself, has been very good in the paint for the Roos. Tigers up by 40. Austin College just looking to build some momentum heading out of this one. And a shot from 3. That one is short. So Trinity back on the attack. O'Rourke over to Minter, takes a 3. And that one just a bit too tight of a trajectory. Needed a better angle there. Austin College will turn the ball over as a step out of bounds.
Timeout on the floor.
Nope, timeout on the floor as we hit under the 5-minute mark. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left in this one. Trinity, safe to say that they have this one in the win column. Austin College looking to get some momentum, but it has been impressive to see how well that the Tigers have been able to handle the Roos.
Absolutely. You mentioned the words from Coach Hill, the fact that there's anyone on this roster that can go off and be the person to score 20 points on any given night. Napoli clearly has hit that tally. She has that total at 22, but beyond that, been pretty even. Robbins has 13 herself. Anderson chipped in another 11. Minter with 9. Timmons with 5. Reedy with 5. Scott has 4. Moeller has 4. Everyone has contributed at least a little bit to the grand scoring total, but also you talk about the three-point shooting. 13 makes that came from 7 different shooters this evening. Really, really impressive. Just everyone on the court, like we talked about early, is a threat to knock it down from distance.
And Coach Hill also telling us that the team is willing to ride the hot hand. If one player is shooting very well, they do not hesitate to hand the ball to them over and over and over again. And Minter, what a great shot by Minter. Flying off the court, gets the layup. Good job by Kylie Minter. And another turnover forced by the Tigers. Timmons over to Minter. Thought about a 3, thought better of it. Minter passing it over to O'Rourke. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Signs dishing it over to Minter. Moeller trying to get it in. Ball kicked around a little bit. Signs puts it up. Can't put it in. 83-41 is still the score though. But what a shot by Minter.
Yeah, kind of had to glaze over that just a little bit too quickly. Incredible make. Surprised that there wasn't something called on it, whether it be a foul or a jump ball. It looked like someone had their hands in there on it for long enough to warrant one, but despite that, she just threw it up and hoped for the best. And I'm sure she'd tell you she did it on purpose.
And Sweeney with a 3 for Austin College. 3 from Sky O'Rourke. That one in and out. Now only Timmons to beat. And Austin College will win that bout thanks to the efforts of Kaylee Smith. Minter has been good from 3 a couple times tonight. 3 of those 3s have been thanks to her. And Maddie Moeller has another. So 86-46 as the 3s don't stop coming.
It's the 8th Tiger now with a made 3 on the evening. Not everyone's been as efficient as Josie Napoli, who will finish 4 for 4, as the referee's going to call an over and back on that. Even in a 40-point game, his defensive pressure has remained consistent all evening. There's a couple of new faces we'll check in. Ivory Scott back out on the court for Trinity, as is Jalen Martin, for what is likely going to be the last stretch of this game. A tick under 3 minutes remaining here in San Antonio.
And a complete line change for Austin College. Brianna Burt trying to contend with the first Tiger take the inbounds. Moeller from 3 sinks it. 89-46.
And I was saying not everyone was going to be as efficient as Josie Napoli. Moeller, before those last 2 makes, was 0 for 4, but it just seemed like a matter of time before she got one to fall, and those last 2 looked really, really pretty.
And to take the inbound now, Kaylee Lewis, new face in for the Roos. Mariana Burt trying to drive it in, nearly loses the ball. Instead, it is called a foul. Tiffany Ham also in for the Roos, another new face for Austin College. And Trinity Williams back in the game as well. That one through the arms of Williams. Takes the 3. That one nearly bounces in, but instead O'Rourke will get the rebound. O'Rourke, plenty of Tigers waiting to take a 3. Timmons off the back of the iron. And now Kaylee Lewis, only Timmons to contend with. Instead, short floater shot, a good make for Lewis. 89-48 the score. Scott will turn the ball over back to the Roos.
Same thing can really be said about this Austin College side. They have not given in despite this score They've continued to play hard all evening long. Talked about that third quarter. They posted their best score line of the evening. They've matched it here so far in the fourth with still a little bit of time left to play.
Now Muller driving it in. And one for Maddie Muller. Tigers break 90. And a free throw to come for Muller. And Coach Freilander being very happy with her Ruse squad, saying that there's plenty of players constantly in the gym trying to improve their game. A young team getting some great experience playing one of the best in the nation, and certainly one of the best in the region as well. Burt driving it down the arc, and it's put up for three from O'Neal. That one misses the rim, so Tigers 1 minute, 1 second left. Scott over to Timmons. Timmons goes up to O'Rourke. O'Rourke down to Martin. Jalen Martin. Martin will be fouled. So Martin will force a reset of this play. Scott to take the inbound pass. Gets it over to Martin. Martin looking to finish what she started. Dishes it into O'Rourke. O'Rourke working in the paint. That one doesn't fall. And Martin may have accidentally collided with the eye of Trinity Williams. Ariana Burt. Still a shot clock. Driving it in. That one won't fall, but Williams with the putback. No more shot clock, so the Tigers, we'll see if they take another shot or if they choose to just let the clock run out. Muller over to Martin, back to Scott. Scott just choosing to let the clock run out will be Trinity as the applause start coming at 92 to 50. Another impressive showing from Trinity in conference play as they oust the Kangaroos. And really, there's so many players we could talk about, but I think the real highlight here is the group effort from beyond the arc.
Absolutely. Finished red hot from downtown. 15 of 33 for 45.5% from the outside. Continue their dominance from three-point range, something that they established early on this year. One of the best, if not the very best, three-point shooting teams in the country. Statistically, they've been that in the early part of this season, and it's continued here at home. They've been really happy shooting the basketball in CalGuard Gym. That effort that they put forth in the preseason has really paid off in the early part of their conference play.
Just one shy of their season high in makes from beyond the arc. And we'll be back here tomorrow as they play the Crusaders of Dallas, another conference game against another young team looking for a statement win. And of course, what bigger statement could you make than if you were to beat Trinity in their home gym? But the #1 offense in the nation showed why they have that title. 92 points as they beat Austin College by a margin of 42. For everyone in the control room, Luke Terry, I am Reed Rosales, and we hope to see you tomorrow for some more great SCAC women's basketball.